You just bought your first investment property, but what do you do now? It's time to get to work. Where do you start? Come with me, I'll show you everything I do. Welcome back to Brick House Buyers, everybody. I'm TJ, where I show you real deals on real properties here in Utah. I'm standing in this new house that I bought in the lovely city of Roy, and I'm trying to decide where do I begin and what do I start work on. I want to flip this house, I want to be very profitable, but we need to get started with something that we can do now so we're not just wasting our time and spending money. One of the very first things I'm going to do is make sure that I call the city and get utilities set up. I also need to have my power and my gas account. I don't want to get shut off just when I send my guys over to start work on the house. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call my favorite home inspector because I want to have an easy list that I can check off those boxes and make sure that I'm making this a wonderful place for the next people to buy from me. I've already done that, and I have a list of over 30 items that need attention on this property right here. But it's one of the easiest ways that I have found to be able to get everything I need all in one place. And a home inspection usually only costs me just a couple $100s. Some of the first things I can show you are very obvious. These appliances are pretty dirty and need to be replaced. I'm thinking I'm going to put something in here that's a nice stainless steel or something that contrasts in this kitchen. Also, in my home inspection, we found out that this dishwasher is leaking right down here in the bottom of the door, and we found out that these pipes that have the drain for the water heater are leaking right back here in the kitchen cabinet. I wouldn't want that to happen in my house, so that's definitely on my list of things to fix. Other things that I know I'm going to do are some of these gold light fixtures. You can see this one in the entryway, only has a couple of light bulbs left on it, and it's pretty high up, so we're going to do probably a very nice fan up there. Another thing that is almost self-explanatory is these dirty carpets just need to be renewed and have some new life into this house. And it's very likely that I'll be doing some type of hard or laminate flooring to get rid of this little linoleum in the kitchen. You can see we have water damage from mopping, and it just needs overall to be replaced so it can be new, pretty, and fresh for a new homeowner. The first time I visited this house, I also found a few things that I noticed with the back door. We've got some rust coming through, and this door is, I'm sure, original to the house, but I'm going to replace this with a nice vinyl sliding door that'll look pretty and also be more weather resistant. Yard work is always an important thing that I want to help a house have good curb appeal and look pretty. This air conditioning unit is covered with weeds along the bottom, and we need to trim this up and probably put a nice brick underlay so that it's a little bit up off the ground and doesn't get buried in snow. Another thing that I usually do is try to get rid of this tall grass along the foundation of the house. I want my grade and my slope to go away from the house so that water and drainage stay out in the yard, but also a nice little flower bed here will have a lot better curb appeal. Some things around the house just need a little paintbrush touch up. We have some rust on the railing here, and you'll also notice that along the garage door, there's a little bit of peeling paint on all of this wood. I sure am glad that somebody locked up the railing because I wouldn't want somebody to steal the handrail from this property. Overall, this house is in very good condition, and I don't think I need to repaint every surface of this house, but I do have to deal with some water damage along these windows. You can see it's a little bit cracked, and the condensation of these windows over the years has made that sheetrock windowsill kind of fall apart. In this bedroom as well, we have a little bit of sheetrock work that needs to be touched up around the windows. There's a hole in this wall. This closet door is broken and doesn't function very well, and I'm missing a smoke detector. So some of these items need care and a little bit of work to make sure that they're nice. But other things I do, I want to be very comfortable when somebody is buying a property like this. And that means I want to have brand new working toilets. When the toilets are new, it makes people feel comfortable and like they're not afraid to stay in a house, and I always pay attention to little things like that. I want to take special care to clean up this bathtub really well and make sure the faucet works really good. And then in this bathroom also, I don't love that there's carpet on the floor, and I definitely want to deal with this water damage right down here against the tub. So many little things can affect how somebody feels when they come into this property, so we want to pay attention to those little details that make people feel like it's brand new and ready for them to come move in. One of the things I pay attention to is the color of wall plates. We definitely want to do a good cleaning. And as you can see, this gold trim electrical fixtures were all in style in the 1990s, but we can do a little bit better with modern fixtures and get a little bit of style in here as well. Down here in the basement, there are a lot of things that will help people feel comfortable that this will be a safe, nice place for somebody to live. And those things include making sure this water heater is in good condition. Now this water heater, according to this label right down here, was manufactured in 1998. So that makes it 25 years old. I think I'll replace it. The furnace, you can also tell when the last time it was serviced by the dates that are on these little stickers. We also have a green sticker down here, which means it's been tuned for our area so the gas flow is efficient and works properly. Some of the other things that I'll do is we're gonna make sure this sump pump works so that we don't get any groundwater in the basement. And the home inspector let us know that this pressure reduction valve is a little bit too high, so we're gonna put a new one on there and make sure that it's keeping the pressure at a low enough range that we don't burst any pipes or faucets and have them wear out before their time. We also found out that this laundry valve right here is dripping over time. And right now, if you look closely, these hoses are just a little bit wet on the bottom, and you can see the evidence of it down there on the floor. So those valves may just need to be tightened and packed, but it's something my handyman can look at really quickly and make sure that we don't have a water issue in this basement. Another reason I like to have a whole home inspection is because they will look at things like the electrical system to make sure that my panel is set up correctly, doesn't have double tapped wires, and that all these breakers are working appropriately for their load and their purpose, and make sure that we don't have problems with the house once we get somebody living here. There could be hundreds of electrical outlets or switches in this house, but I would never know that this one right here isn't working if I didn't have somebody to put the tester in there and see that it doesn't trip properly or reset. As you can see, there are a lot of things that you wouldn't know if you didn't know what to look for, and if you didn't have a checklist to go through and check each item, you could very easily miss something. I like to use a home inspector and get that report because it shortens my path to finding all of those things that would kind of be guesswork otherwise. So whenever you're buying a real estate property as a project to live in, to invest, or to hold as a rental property, I probably would recommend getting a good home inspector look at everything so that you can make sure that you're not biting off a big money pit and more than you can chew. Another thing a good home inspector will do is help you know what is working properly in the house so that you don't have to work on it or replace it. For example, this garage door opener is working very well and it does everything it's supposed to do, including stopping and going back up if it hits something. I like to buy properties of all kinds. I like two-story houses, I like rambler houses, I like my tenants just moved out and trashed my houses, I like somebody in my family died and now I need to sell this property houses, and I like to work with agents, wholesaler investors, or normal people that just need to sell a house. I've been buying investment properties for the last 7.5 years with Brick House Buyers. And one of the things that we do really well is make an excellent product for when we sell this house. So make sure that you check out my other videos and other projects that we've been working on, and maybe I can come see your house and we can make a deal together.